Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oops. Oops. Now here we are. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Al-Bob. That's me, he, your sensei, here to tell you a story. I'm your griot. Yes, I am. And don't believe a word I say. Don't do it. Here it is, the 23rd, I think, of December. Tomorrow, Tuesday, is going to be Christmas Eve. And Wednesday is going to be Christmas Day. And what is Christmas Day? Oh, it's just another day, right? Because, Jesus was born about 240 to 60 days after John the Baptist, because John the Baptist's mom was Jesus' mom's Mary, cousin or sister or cousin, I think, or aunt. And she was really old and Mary was really young, and they're both going to have a baby. Both a miracle from God, right? And so that miracle, that dual miracle, is basically, this motif of forgiveness, right? And God so loved the world, he gave him his only begotten son, right? That big Trinity, a big question. What do you mean there's God the Father, there's God the Son, and Spirit, right? What are you talking about? There's three gods? It's October's only one God. Well, I don't know about you, but I myself have, some days I'm really feeling good, some days not so good. Some days people really annoy me, other days I annoy me. And, that's what it's about, it's understanding that we're all one. We're all one. We're all our relations, when God came to Moses up there on top of the hill, where Moses hanging out. There Moses was a cool kid, more cool than anybody else. So much so that his mom had to stick him in a wicker basket and send him out on the river, and a slave of the queen picked him up, and the queen took him as her because she didn't have a child, as her son. And Moses grew up, really as a rich kid, right? And hey there, Jamie. Happy Christmas, Brother Al. Your expression loves co-creation is catching on. Yeah, I think so. Well, it's not my expression, really. I'm just parroting it. I'm hearing it often. Yes. And it's a good one, All it means is you're not perfect, but you can do your best. There's another one. Let's start on that one. You're not perfect, but you can do your best in the moment, right? I am God's unconditional love. Through God's grace, by my willingness to be empathetic, right? And all the things that I am, is that little spark of that Trinity inside of me, right? And so yesterday was Sunday, and I went to church, and I have the excuse of not being able to go to church because what used to take me 15 minutes to get to church, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour to get to church, like maybe 15 miles, whatever that is, I have to go all the way down south and then all the way around the lake and then all the way down north. I have to go an extra 40 miles to go to church. And so when I go to church, I go to fellowship, and it annoys me because of the way the folk teach it. We're given this great little book here called the Holy Bible, right? And we get this great little Bible studies for life. Every season, one of these things comes out, and this is the Christmas thing, and a lesson for um, you know last Sunday, yesterday, and see, kids, Sunday, the Sabbath is Saturday, you know, and the pagan Roman, Holy Roman Empire Church of the Vatican basically screws everything up to totally whack us, right? And Martin Luther had a great idea saying, "Boy, what is this? Ain't Christianity? What is this? This is Walmart. This is Kmart. This is what's going on here." And so he started the Protestant scene, and every time anyone kind of comes up to say, well, to feel that light inside of them, they kind of like, right, and then they, right, like Cliff Hyde, all those guys who are pretty cool, like Grace, all those guys, like 6 years ago, that I stumbled onto and said, "Oh, these guys are cool." They were driven off the reservation, right? And they had to go do their Substacks and all that. Me, I'm too lazy. I'm just going to do YouTube. No social media whatsoever. The way to get a hold of me is the dude awake 42 at Gmail. And a lot of you have, more than 100 have. And we talked, and I seem to help, and that's what I'm here to do. Let's see. The drones are interesting. I think we'll see some big boys soon. Gentle disclosure being pushed by good ETs or government sycophants, really. They contradiction them all the time. I know it's hilarious, right? And Donald Trump is the most honest guy because he lies so much. He tells the truth. I mean, right? If that ain't Satan, I don't know. I like the church lady. Isn't that nice? That's Satan, right? Well, who made Satan but God, right? There used to be a TV show where the devil was on Earth. He was Lucifer, Morning Star, right? Owned a discotheque, got laid a lot. Like, what do you really want? And the only thing you can know about what you really want is to shut the frack up and listen to God, right? So anyway, we get this great little teaching guide, and the guy doesn't even read it. And they set it up really good. I mean, it's only like each lesson is only maybe 4 pages long. So this ain't rocket science, right? When you want to understand what the lesson is, you go to the friggin' last page and you read that little quote there, the thing that is saying this is, it's called live it out. Meaning after the lesson, it gives you this statement about, so this is what you should do this week, right? When love is our greatest motivation, that's it right there. Love's got to be your greatest motivation because God is love. You got that? Right? Motivation, goal, and destination, we begin to look more like Jesus. Yeah. You know what the word anthropomorphize is? It means to make God in our image and likeness. No, stop it. It was love that transported him through Mary into the manger, and it was love that drove him to the cross. He made that clear. No one would take his life. His life was given freely to make us right with God. Sacrifice, blood of the lamb. What does that all mean? Why is blood so important? Well, it's because it's what gives us life. Okay, I'm going to show you right here, right now. Okay, get yourself comfortable, sit around, sit down. Here we are, 9 minutes and 49 seconds. I love when that happens. Breathe in. What you're doing when you're doing meditative breath is you're taking your conscious mind, that little squirrel up there, and you're focusing it totally on your breath, causing your diaphragm to lift up, and give space so your lungs can expand and give a break to your heart. You have three brains. Cottage cheese between your ears. That cottage cheese is your RAM, random access memory. That's why it's connected to your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth. All those things are kind of fight or flight sensory radars, right? And that's, run. Pick up a stick. Not really thinking deeply. Heart, that's where you're supposed to be thinking from, gang. And your heart is your hard drive, right? And your gut is your CPU. You got a trillion little bacteria guys connecting you to everything that's in the universe that is love's co-creation, right? Got it? So put those three together, you have the light of God's creation in your heart, in co-creation. You know, that is what you read about in the Bible all the time. It's this book, right? This book, first of all, you got to realize King James was written, by King James, right? And why did he write it? He wrote it to basically, he realized that religion is a power. He saw the pagan religions, all this stuff, and Christianity was all over the place in every different kind of flavor you could think of, right? So he said, if I take all of flavors, it's like Baskin Robbins. Take all those flavors, put them together. I'll be the cool kid on the block, right? So he gets these theologians who are just learning how to read. Really, I mean, they're just monkeys with typewriters, blind monkeys with typewriters. Take 66 books by 40 authors. No, and that was like 16 something, right? Way after Jesus. So none of the guys in here that are quoted, let's go to the front book. Look how, can you read that? That's like I need a microscope to read that. Luckily, I have a book that is like this big. That's, large print. And, come on, where is it? I guess. Table of contents, right? Why do they make it so small? Well, it has a section of introduction, meaning all these things, acts of, prophets, blah, blah, wisdom books, blah, 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 historical books, blah, 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 general epistemology, right? Revelations. Now, that sucker was written even further past than, King James. I mean, it was some guy eating mushrooms on an island up there, Corsica, up there kind of between Turkey and Egypt and that whole little squirrely area, right? Where we're constantly having wars. Where George H. started us off in 91. I mean, we should go back to World War One, where they made the little agreement, with Mr. Rothschild, and everyone thinks that Rothschild was Jewish, but he wasn't. Rothschild in German means red flag. No, ermine, And what is that? That's a color of all the robes that kings wear. Right? He was a Vatican stooge, 100%. Guys, there's three legs to that little stool. What's a stool? That little brick that comes out of your rosy hole, right? That's when you're pinching a loaf. That's a stool. And the three legs of the stool are Vatican in Rome, which is a separate country that has its own diplomats at the UN. The city of London, it's not the London city, but the city is right in the middle, and it has its own police, its own government, its own everything. Uh, King of England owns it, and the city of London controls all of finance, right? Not money. Money is a Latin word for like bling, right? It's really a Babylonian word, but this is what I wake up to every morning. Anyway, let's see. Baba stated that if God didn't from take some karma from us, we'd be doing this forever, right? Exactly. Well, again and again comes back amongst us. Incognito, yes. God is, I mean, Jesus didn't leave the building, he didn't float up in the air. No, he went to France with Mary, had a bunch of kids, and, made the Merovingian crew, right? Red Shield took control of the Vatican finances. Yep, 1827, but even earlier than that. That's when, it was, oh, look at that. Rothschild owns the Catholic Church. But his ilk, the Babylonian bankers, started the Holy Roman Empire, right? They were the pagans, right? Anyway, and it's all the same. It's this duality. We aren't dualistic, but we live in a dualistic society. We are constantly bombarded by dualistic motifs in everything, media. Hollywood. What is Hollywood? Why is it Hollywood? Because the holly tree is used to make magic wands. They call Hollywood. It's magic, right? It is to control your friggin' mind. Look at John Boy. I want to be an A-lister. I want to be the best movie maker in Hollywood. Good luck with that. Me, I don't care. I am the doula for God, right? What is it? The slave. That's it. I'm slave, right? Yeah, I'm a total muffin head. And every time I get ahead of the game, get in front of myself, that's when I screw up. But when I say, you know what? Here's another one you're going to start hearing more. So I read people's palms, and when you see the little white dots on people's fingernails, that means they worry too much. And if you're seeing white dots, what it is, the physical representation of worry. What is worry? Is worry a frigging good thing? What good have you ever got out of worry? Because it's already $1, penny, whatever, but late. And you should know you're 360 and you're 20. If you know that, you can see the moron 3 blocks away and just get out of the way. If you know you're 20, you know where you are, what you're doing, what is important in that moment. Not worrying about shit, right? I used to hang out with guys, I still do, that chew tobacco, have snuff down here. Right? And they're always spitting because you've got chewing tobacco. It's like, and I had this roommate that used to drink, I don't know, 30, 40 Cokes a day, right? He's just addicted to shit. And he was a rich guy. So it's before there was Amazon, tractor trailers would show up to our dormitory and delivered there. So anyway, he'd have cans everywhere, and I would say, "Oh, Coke," and 9 times out of 10, I'd just go to swig it, and it would be this stringy, mucusy tobacco juice that he's spitting. And I'm still trying to get rid of it. That's like when you see me doing this, and it almost looks like tobacco juice, right? When I sleep, my body everything, all the stuff that's gonna kill you, kind of leaves my body, right? And Yep. John, see, he doesn't even know he's an A-lister, right? He's like, John is Job. John Birmingham, JB. That's Job. And there was a really good movie made back in the day. I don't know, 5, 10, 20 years ago. Um, it's all about the conflict between heaven and hell, right? And one of the Doctor Who actors plays, Crowley, right? And the other guy plays an angel. And they're both angels, and they're best of buds. But I keep it on the down low. They're not gay or anything. They're not gay or anything. um, but they are best of buds. And what is that called? Platonic love. That's what it's called, right? Agape love. So the moron who's see, I'm being not charitable. Who was teaching this lesson yesterday? He keeps hitting the good things. Like he was trying to say, the word and see God. See, God does this to me all the time. But I get in this negative jag. I forget the things I was going to say, which is a good thing. Anthropomorphize. So he couldn't get it out of his mouth. So I said, and he was reading it right out of the freaking guide here, and he couldn't get it because he didn't. If I taught this, I would, I do this all the time. I wrote a right. Oh, there's somebody there. I guess I got to go to work. I'm going to say goodbye. Okay. Okay, I'll come back. But I was in a pretty good jag here. Do, 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 do. Stream will stop immediately.